Hi, my name is Sammy. Welcome to my channel, and let's go to the used bookstore. Let's go. Haul time! Who wants to see a used book haul? Let's do this. Trying to decide which side. I want block roof, so I'll put them over here. I'm so sorry. That's my son, Rue, if you don't know. He is my son, even though he's a cat. Okay. This was a pretty good used book trip. Pretty good. I found a lot of really cool books, and I'm very excited. So yeah, my mom actually came too, and she got some books too, so the total was like $10.50, which is a steal for how many books we got. You ready? Okay, let's go. Okay, so the first book is Run, Rose, Run by James Patterson and Dolly Parton. Woo! I remember seeing this in hardcover at my used bookstore the last time I went, but I wasn't sure if I wanted it in a hardback. You know, I feel like if you get hardback ones, like I really want that book, but I prefer paperbacks. But I saw this in paperback this time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just try it, you know, because I'm like really curious. I heard people say it's really good. Reese Witherspoon has a blurb. I trust James Patterson, and I have nothing against Dolly. I just don't know how well she is at writing, because I don't know if I've never read anything she's written. I don't know if she has written anything else, but I am curious. I'm pretty sure it's about not pop star, but a scener. It's about a scener, so I'm assuming she helped him build the character, because she has the experts in that. I don't know, we'll see. I'm curious to try. I think it's a thriller, right? A thriller from America's most beloved superstar and its greatest storyteller. I also have another one of James Patterson with Bill Clinton, and it's called like The President is Missing. I think I have it right there. So I still need to read that one. There's so many James Patterson read. He has so many books, you know? It's gonna take me a while to get through. I'm very excited if you read this. If you read any of these books, Comment down below, let me know if you like them or if you recommend them. Okay, next. So the next book is actually on my list for my library's reading challenge for the year. I chose this one for Native American Heritage Month, and it's called There There by Tommy Orange. I'm assuming that's how you say it. Sorry if I'm wrong. But it says national bestseller. It says one of New York Times 10 best books of this year. I don't know what year it came out. What's it, 2018? Interesting. Yeah, so I believe this follows a tribe of Native Americans and their life and their story. And I am very excited to read it, and also was so excited. This is actually the first book I remember finding there. I'm so excited to find it there because I was like, hey, I'm already going to be reading this. Now I own it. And I love learning about other cultures, but especially Native Americans. So interesting to learn about their tribes and their culture. So interesting, especially living in California. I feel like the Native American culture is very lively here. So I'm very excited to read this. Okay, next. I got Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is, I'm pretty sure, the second book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, which, if you watch my channel, you know I am obsessed with the Good Girls Guide to Murder, and I 100% want to continue the series. But when I saw this, I would love if they, of course, have all three. And, you know, it is kind of like weird to own only the second book, but this is the fun, interesting life as a used book owner. Having a used book library is what I have, and it's fun. You know, eventually I would love to get the rest of the books, especially the first one, because but I'm so excited to read this, and I'm so excited to own it, and I can't wait to read it. I'm so excited. Okay, next. Next I got The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I think everyone who lives under a rock, if you haven't heard of this book, on Book Talk. This is like one of the, I feel like, top 5 books you see on Book Talk or Booktube is this book. And honestly, I never really got an inkling to read it, really. I felt like a lot of people talking about it, but it's like Greek mythology, if I'm correct. Yeah, it's Greek mythology, and I love historical fiction, but I haven't really dived into like mythology books yet. I just haven't gone to that kind of genre, but I am open to try it. And now that like I got it used, now I have an excuse or have more motivation to read it now, to try it out. Because I actually feel like most of the time it's a 50-50 if you kind of like it or not. I think it really depends if you really vibe with historical / mythology. I feel like you have to have some kind of interest or likes of that to be able to like this book. But I think I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be romance in it, which if there was no romance, I wouldn't be reading it. So, but I'm really intrigued to read it. Oh, this says it was her first novel, and it got on Book Talk. Tale of God and Goddesses, Kings and Queens, Immortal Fame in the Human Heart. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to do any judgment first. I'm not going to, I'm going to keep an open mind. Okay? So there's going to be a truthful, honest review whenever I do get to read this. Okay. Next. Big boy. Barack Obama. I can't read A Promised Land. I couldn't read it because it's a discard library book. Oh, look at that. It's so good. So this is a discard library book. So this is obviously a nonfiction book about our past president, Barack Obama. And I am so curious. I love reading memoirs or biographies, but especially of past presidents, because I feel like so interesting to learn about like how it led for them to become president, how their lives. I also have a book about JFK. about his life. I still narrate it. They're always huge. So I feel like it's kind of like a book. You kind of have to like read a few pages a week, but also be reading a short book too. You know, like I feel like that's the only time I can read more than one book at a time is if one is a nonfiction and one is fiction. You know, I feel like that's the only way I can read 2 books at once. But yeah, I'm very excited. I also really want to read Michelle Obama's book too. But I think it's so cool. I love history, so I'm very excited about this. I love learning about presidents or historical figures. Love it. And I can't wait till I get to it. Ooh, that's heavy. It's a heavy book. Okay, next is Mrs. Lincoln by Catherine Clinton. That's funny. So obviously Mrs. Lincoln, this is about Mary Todd Lincoln, wife to Abraham Lincoln, president. And oh, just look at her. Oh, she's so pretty. I have, oh jeez. Sorry, I'm being distracted. So this book is all about Mary Todd Lincoln, which I think this is so important because I feel like there's so many books on Lincoln, but there's not that, you never think, oh, Mary Todd Lincoln. I want to know about her life because I know I have always had a weird fixation with Mary Todd Lincoln and Abraham Lincoln, both of them, because at a very young age, I'm pretty sure it was 4th grade, I had to do a project on Mary Todd Lincoln. I don't think I chose her. I think they handed them out. I got Mary Todd Lincoln and my friend got Abraham Lincoln. And so it was fun learning, and so we had to do a little research project on our historical figure, and then we had to do a little presentation like after class, like after school. We had to dress up like the historical figure and then do a little presentation when like parents would walk around, and we had to give a presentation each time parents came around. And so I remembered I had a little shawl and I had gloves, and if I find a picture, I'll pop it up if you want to see it. You probably don't care, but and I had a fake baby because they had a son together. But also I found her so interesting, and that really started my fixation on her because she went through a lot in her life. I believe she went through trouble having kids, and I'm pretty sure one of their kids did pass, if I'm remembering correctly, and also she did struggle with mental health. And I found it so interesting. It's, you know, it's so interesting to connect with a historical figure that's from such a long time ago that you didn't think you could find connections or relate to each other. But I think that was so cool at this time when mental health wasn't really talked about, mental illness wasn't really talked about, and I believe she suffered from bipolar disorder. And I find that so interesting to like, how did they deal with mental illness and mental health back then? So my spiel is done. I'm so excited to read this. Go Mary Todd Lincoln. Ooh. Okay, and last book is, I just randomly saw this up in and I was like, you're coming home with me. It was like that TikTok. It's called The Astronaut Wives Club by Lily Coppell. It says author of The Red Leather Diary. It says it's now a major television series and it's a true story. Excuse me? And then I was reading the back, and one line got me. It said, overnight, these women were transformed from military spouses into American royalty. They had tea with Jackie Kennedy, appeared on the cover of Life magazine, and quickly grew into fashion icons. Sign me up. And also, a book gets me when there's pictures. Like, oh, I love, oh, look at that. Look at that, it's a life cover. Oh, I love when books have pictures. Like, I want a full picture book, obviously. But when they're real books from history, oh, so fun. So, also, I need to look up the major television series after I read it. I never heard of this book before, and I feel like that's so interesting. This is The Astronaut Wives Club tells the real story of the women who stood beside some of the biggest heroes in American history. Oh, look. It says Apollo 11 lifts off with that picture. See the rocket. Can you see it? The rocket's going off. And they're all taking pictures with the moon. Family picture with the moon. That sounds so interesting. When was this written? I think it's 2014. Interesting. See, I love books like this. They're like, they just educate you about the Astronaut Wives Club. This is the kind of like history books I kind of like. I like reading to just like, I've never heard of these women, and I get to learn about it. Like, I want to learn about what I didn't learn about in school, you know? So I'm very excited, and also like, look at that hair. Do you see that hair? And those earrings? Like, this is what I want to dress like. Okay, so that's my used bookstore haul, and all of the proceeds from the used bookstore goes to help my local library. So go support your local library. Okay, I think that's it. Comment down below which book I should read first from this haul. Which one's your favorite? And thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. So obviously Miss Clint. Oh, big.